My name is ARMAN AHMED.
From that it is very good. Iris. Very good. So tell us something about your educational background.
So iris means it's a part of the eye, the colored part of the eye.
From that it is very good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So tell us something about your educational background.
So I have been born and brought up in Hojai, and I have done my schooling over there from Don Bosco High School, Hojai. And then we moved to Guwahati. I have done my higher secondary from Gurukul Grammar Senior Secondary School, Guwahati. And then I did my BTech in Computer Science and Engineering from Sikkim Manipal Institute of Technology.
So shifting from engineering background to civil services, don't you think it is a drag on the economy of India that government has spent so much money upon you? Now you are leaving all these things to join the civil services. How to justify your movement?
So engineering, yes, I did engineering on computer science, but I feel that I can apply those knowledge in the civil services field as well. So I feel that it should not be restricted to just the technical field because nowadays technology has impacted in each and every sphere of the society. So we can use a lot of technical knowledge in improving our day-to-day life and the society around us. Like in agriculture, we can use technology. In other public services like transport, education, everywhere we can use technological services. So I feel that it will
try korise ki Buddhism mane execution.
Who is in charge of law and order? The district magistrate or the SP? Whose responsibility is law and order?
District. So I think the district magistrate is the top of the hierarchy as the SP reports to him as well.
Who is in charge of law and order? Simple question I'm asking. DM or SP?
Sorry, sir, I'm not.
To be technical background or to be নিজে ঠিক চাকৰি কৰাতকে ঠিক আত্মনিৰ্ভৰ হৈ পেলাই আন 10 জনক চাকৰি দিয়াৰ তোমাৰ মন নাযায় নে?
সো এটো কৰিব পাৰিলে খুবেই ভাল কথা, কিন্তু মই ঠিক হেতু ভাবা নাই। মই ভাবিছো যোনটো মোৰ ইন্টাৰেষ্ট আছিলে, মই ভাবিছো যে মই পাব্লিক সাৰ্ভিস কৰি বেছি মানুহক ভালকে ইউটিলাইজ কৰিব পাৰিম, বিকজ মই ভাবো যে মোৰ যোনটো মই মানুহৰ লগত খুব জড়িত হৈ থাকিব পাৰো, গ্ৰাউণ্ড লেভেল যোনখিনি মানুহ আছে, মই নিজকে খুব কম্পেশনেট বুলি ভাবো। মানুহৰ দুখবোৰ গুছাবলৈ মই কিবা এটা কৰিবলৈ সদায় মন যায়, সৰুৰে পৰা হেতু ইচ্ছা আছে। সো মই ভাবো যে মই যোন নেচাৰৰ মানুহ হয়, মই এইটো কামটো বেছি ভালকে কৰিব পাৰিম।
Definitely it is better to be positive, আৰু আমি আশা কৰোঁ তোমাৰ positive you become successful. Is any alternative in your hands other than this service?
So right now I have not thought of any alternative. If at most I don't get successful in this civil services, then I have thought of taking up some public works as well. I've talked to some of my family members and friends who can invest, and I have always wanted to set up a social service kind of work, for which like an NGO type of work, especially in my district in Hojai. So maybe I will work something in that regard. So basically I wanted to, because so there are lots of students and the community over there, I feel there are many talented students. If they are given proper platform, they can go a long way ahead. So maybe I will do some work in this NGO sector, social services.
আচ্ছা, অসমত আহোম কিংডম জানা তুমি নিশ্চয়, আৰু আমি সদায় কৈ থাকোঁ লাচিত বৰফুকন। লাচিত বৰফুকন কোন ৰজাৰ স্বৰ্গদেউৰ সময়ত আছিল, আৰু শৰাইঘাটৰ ৰণ কাৰ কাৰ মাজত হৈছিল, অলপ চিম্পলি অলপ।
লাচিত বৰফুকন যেতিয়া তেওঁ বৰফুকন হ'লে তেতিয়া চক্ৰধ্বজ সিনহা আছিলে ৰজাজন, কিন্তু শৰাইঘাটৰ ৰণ যেতিয়া কৰিছিলে তেতিয়া উদয়াদিত্য সিনহা আছিলে। আৰু শৰাইঘাটৰ ৰণটো হৈছিলে কিয় কি ৰাম সিংহ আছিলে আমাৰ মোগলৰ পৰা পঠাইছিলে, তেওঁক হেৰাইছিলে লাচিত বৰফুকনে। এটা দীঘল এটা যুদ্ধ হৈছিলে, যোনটো তেওঁ যেতিয়া ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰিছিলে তেতিয়া লাগিছিলে যে আহোমহঁত হাৰি যাব, কিন্তু পিছতে তেওঁৰে যোনটো আত্মনিৰ্ভৰতা, তেওঁৰ যোনটো ষ্ট্ৰং উইল পাৱাৰ আছিলে, সেইটো কাৰণে আহোমহঁতে ফাইনেলি মোগলক হেৰুৱাই পঠালে অসমৰ পৰা।
Okay. You belong to the Hojai districts, basically. So how many there legislative assembly constituency there in that district?
There are 3 legislative assembly constituencies. There is Hojai, Lamding, and Jamunamukh. Yes.
90 Jamunamukh, 91 Ujai. Okay. You are married, having child also. And your husband, in which sector your husband is working?
He works as a network engineer with a private sector company in Accenture, Kolkata. Yes, sir.
So you are married, having a one child, and your husband is working outside of our state. Now suppose your name come in your final list and you need to serve here. So how you will manage?
So currently my husband is in a work from home project. Yes, sir. And that will continue for at least 2 to 3 years because the project has recently started. So he can work from here, and he has been working since a long time because of the COVID and everything. So he's on work from home mode. So like I will be shifting here completely if I get a job, and my child will be, he will take care of my child, and I will always be available whenever it's possible.
Okay, you took political science and international relations as your optional subject. Now one thing, Gandhiji is communism minus violence, is not it? Gandhiji is communism minus violence. Why it is said?
Sir, sorry sir, I am not able to.
What is the common between Marxist and Gandhiji?
Common phenomenon between Marxism and Gandhism is they both wanted a stateless society. Stateless society, and the people should be the rulers, the power of the masses.
Casteless. Yes, stateless and casteless. Gandhi also wanted stateless and casteless, is not it? Then what is the fundamental difference between these two?
Fundamental difference is Gandhiji has always followed a non-violent path. His main objective was acquiring independence through the satyagraha. Whereas Marxism, he talked about a violent revolution through which he can establish communism in the society. So that is the basic difference between Marxism. Yes, sir. Yes, the difference between the ends and means. Because Marx considered ends as the main objective, whereas for Gandhiji, the means has always been of more importance. Without following the right means, we can never.
Violence and force are the means.
Yes, sir. In his Communist Manifesto, he not directly, but he calls that the workers should let go of their chains, and he talks about the violent revolution through which communism can be established in the society.
As per you, why Marx is famous in the world? Why Marx as per you?
Before that, I would like to interrupt. Are you sure that Marx propounded the theory of violence? Are you sure about that? Did Marx ever call for violence?
Yes. So Marxism, basically it came because of the evils of capitalism, because of the extreme capitalism that was established where the society was clearly divided into two groups, the haves and the have-nots. And the people who were the worker population were exploited to an extreme limit. And that was the reason why Marxism came.
What is the common slogan of Marx? Ki koi ase Marx ki koi? Labor bilako ki koi ase? Shramikok ki koi?
To get together and revolt against the dictatorship of...
We don't have nothing to lose, but to be united. Is not it? It's what I say. Okay.
So international relations. Have you read the book Crossing the Rubicon? Have you heard about that? That's all right. So tell me, what is the current status of non-aligned movement? Is it alive? Is it still relevant?
Sir, the relevance has definitely decreased over the years because the world is situated in a very complex interdependence where exactly we cannot say that there is a very strict non-aligned movement. However, I feel the utility of non-aligned movement, especially if we consider the number of countries that are associated with the NAM, it can be utilized in a better way. So relevance, we cannot say that exactly it's not relevant as of now, but yes, the main agenda by which non-alliance was the strict agenda of not aligning with any power, that has definitely been slowed down in this current scenario in the interdependent world that is today.
Currently, how many members are in NATO? What is the meaning of eastward expansion of NATO?
Sorry, sir, I am not
What
aware.
is the meaning of eastward expansion of NATO?
Eastward expansion is basically right now the Ukraine and the Sweden, Finland, all those are talking about joining NATO, which will be, these countries are the neighbors of the Russian, the East Russia, I mean the East Europe. So that is meant by the eastward expansion of NATO.
What is your idea and opinion about this feminism?
Feminism. So feminism basically came, it started with the idea of granting the basic liberties like right to vote, right to similar kind of work and pay for the women as well. It was basically to address the atrocities that have been always carried on against the women. So yes, feminism has played a big role in granting those kind of basic liberties and basic rights for the women in the Western society. So there are some great, sorry sir, I am not able to address it properly right now.
It originates with the right to vote, no? ইয়াৰ আমাৰ ইণ্ডিয়াৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত বা অসমৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত ইয়াৰ প্ৰাসংগিকতা আছেনে?
Sir, আছে, somewhere আছে. So feminism যদি আমি কওঁ, আমি mainly role modelsবোৰ চাওঁ, সিহঁতে আমাৰ feminismৰ main আইডিয়াটো ক'ব পাৰিলে, যেনেকৈ আমাৰ মামনি ৰায়চম গোস্বামী আছে আৰু ৰীতা চৌধুৰী আছে, তেওঁলোকে বেলেগ বেলেগ ফিল্ডত নিজৰ নাম কামাই, নিজৰ নামখন they shine in different fields. So সেইটোৰে পৰা আমাৰ যোনখন আজি ছ'চাইটিটো, অসমৰ ক'ব গ'লে ছাৰ, অসমৰ ছ'চাইটিটো সদায় এইটো ক্ষেত্ৰত বহুত ফৰৱাৰ্ড লুকিং আছিলে। আমাৰ ইয়াতে ছাতি ছিষ্টেম কেতিয়াও নাছিলে, অলমষ্ট নাছিলে কেতিয়াও। ইয়াত ডাউৰি এণ্ড অল যোনখিনি একদম বেছিক ইভিলছ এগেইনষ্ট দ্য ৱিমেন, সেইখিনি প্ৰিভেণ্ট নহয়। শক্তি কালটো আগৰে পৰা আছিলে, সেইটো কাৰণে ৱিমেনৰ এটা ভাল ৰোল আছিলে। চ' ফেমিনিজম সেইবুলি অসমত এইখিনি ৰেলেভেঞ্চ আছে যেন মই ভাবোঁ।
বৰ্তমান সময়ত আমাৰ ছ'চাইটিত যথেষ্ট ডিছকাশ্যন অন প্ৰাইচ ৰাইজ, মূল্য বৃদ্ধিক লৈ বহুত হাংগামা হৈ আছে। তোমাৰ কমেণ্ট কি প্ৰাইচ ৰাইজৰ?
চ' প্ৰাইচ ৰাইজটো হৈছে, সেইটো সঁচা কথা। ইনফ্লেশ্যনটো আমি চবেই গম পাই আছোঁ, চব বস্তুৰে দাম বাঢ়ি গৈ আছে এতিয়া। কিন্তু সেইটো মেইনলি হৈছে ক'ব গ'লে যোনখিনি ক'ভিডৰ কাৰণে এটা ভাল ইকনমিৰ বহুত বেয়া এটা দিন গৈছে, বিজনেছবোৰ হোৱা নাই, চব ছেক্টৰে অলপ বহুত কষ্ট পাইছে। সেইটো পিছত ছাৰ এতিয়া যোনখন যুদ্ধ হৈ আছে, যুদ্ধৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ যথেষ্টখিনি তেল ইম্পৰ্ট সেইখিনি দাম বাঢ়ি গৈছে, যোনটো ডাইৰেক্টলি ইনফ্লেশ্যনৰ লগত জড়িত হৈ আছে। ছাৰ কোল আমাৰ ইমপ্লিমেণ্ট ছাৰ হয় ছাৰ, আমি ৰেছপনচিবল। ছাৰ মই ভাবোঁ যে বহুতখিনি বস্তু আছে, যেনেকৈ স্কিল ডেভেলপমেণ্ট হওক বা হেৰি হওক, যোনটোৰ কাৰণে হয়তো আমাৰ ডেভেলপমেণ্টখিনি ইমান হোৱা নাই। আমি হয়তো আৰু বেছিকৈ যদি চেষ্টা কৰিলোঁহেঁতেন, আৰু বেছি এইখিনি বস্তুত আমি গুৰুত্ব দিলোঁহেঁতেন, তেনেহ'লে হয়তো আমি ভাল এটা ফেজত আৰু বেটাৰ এটা ডেভেলপমেণ্টেল ষ্টেজত থাকিলোঁহেঁতেন, আৰু ইনফ্লেশ্যনে আমাক কম অকণমান প্ৰেৰিত কৰিলেহেঁতেন। চ' মই ভাবোঁ তেনেকৈ হ'ব পাৰিলেহেঁতেন।
ক'ৰবাত আমিও অলপ ৰেছপনচিবল নেকি?
ছাৰ হয় ছাৰ, আমি ৰেছপনচিবল। ছাৰ মই ভাবোঁ যে বহুতখিনি বস্তু আছে, যেনেকৈ স্কিল ডেভেলপমেণ্ট হওক বা হেৰি হওক, যোনটোৰ কাৰণে হয়তো আমাৰ ডেভেলপমেণ্টখিনি ইমান হোৱা নাই। আমি হয়তো আৰু বেছিকৈ যদি চেষ্টা কৰিলোঁহেঁতেন, আৰু বেছি এইখিনি বস্তুত আমি গুৰুত্ব দিলোঁহেঁতেন, তেনেহ'লে হয়তো আমি ভাল এটা ফেজত আৰু বেটাৰ এটা ডেভেলপমেণ্টেল ষ্টেজত থাকিলোঁহেঁতেন, আৰু ইনফ্লেশ্যনে আমাক কম অকণমান প্ৰেৰিত কৰিলেহেঁতেন। চ' মই ভাবোঁ তেনেকৈ হ'ব পাৰিলেহেঁতেন।
It is not the constitution which has failed us. It is us who have failed the constitution. What do you mean by this line?
So this line basically means that the constitution, whatever things are there which are considered as non-constitutional, or the failure of kind of constitution as the line implies, it is basically upon the society and the people around who are responsible for the proper implementation of the constitution and its various facets. So we should not blame the constitution or its statutes or tenets for any kind of grievances that are related to the constitution. So I think that is what is meant by this line.
Cooking is one of your hobbies, eh? What kind of food you cook? Non-veg or veg?
Non-vegetarian.
Mostly non-vegetarian. Do you follow any chef who has got international recognition?
Sir, Vikas Khanna is one of my favorite chef. Yes, sir. He has some restaurants in US, but yes.
So cooking, is it stress buster for you or your drudgery? What is this for you?
Sir, being a homemaker, yes, I will not totally disagree. I cannot. Sometimes it is a drudgery for me, but mostly it is a stress buster because, sir, in the last 4 years since I have been preparing for the civil services, I had certain more duties as well, like looking after my child, cooking. However, so I thought, why not convert it into something like stress busting? So yes, it works both sides. Sometimes when I'm very nervous or tensed about something, some left work, or sometimes when we don't get good marks in certain tests, at that time it looks like a drudgery for me. But mostly it is a stress buster. I try to enjoy cooking, and since a very long time, it's not like after marriage, it's always been a good activity.
Okay. My last question. Who is your role model? Do you have any role model in your life?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
Mahatma Gandhi is my role model.
Why?
So because I think I can relate a lot to him. The way he followed a path which has not been followed by not been followed by any person. Because before Gandhiji, it was mostly like the violent protests and all the mass protests and all. It was Gandhiji who had that much of confidence in himself that I will follow this non-violent path, and I'm actually very much astonished, like the way his patience. Almost for 20 years he followed this path, and he had that kind of willpower to follow his path despite all the failures that he had to face. I think all these things make him more relatable to Mahatma Gandhiji.
So one British Prime Minister had commented that Gandhi was the best policeman which British had in India. What was meant by that?
So yes, sir, because Gandhiji always told all his followers to follow the non-violent path. So he assured that no one ever goes into the violence path. Like we have observed after the Chauri Chaura incident, he called off the movement, the non-violent movement, non-cooperation movement. So maybe he meant that Gandhiji was the best policeman because he used to assure that no one does anything illegal or non-violent.
Okay, thank you.